Number 12, Andrew Kumada. Number 13, Esther. Number 44, Bailey Connor. Number 3, Cara Jane Shanks. Number 23, Christopher Farrar. Number 38, Dakota Kai Alcaraz. Number 60, Dion Fitzgerald. Number 19, Dylan Woodcock. Number 77, Ethan Morton. Number 55, Evan Vitt. Number 43, Falata Marusina. Number 18, Hamish Windsor. Number 6, Harris W.C. Walker. Number 57, Hunter Harris 1. Number 14, Jacob Barrett. Number 76, Jacob Shield. Number 56, Jai Man. Number 62, Jaikin Poor. Number 9, Jake Christie. Number 70, Jesse Shaw. Number 74, John King. Number 78, Jonathan Van Duren. Number 25, Joshua Perry. Number 21, Lachlan Evans. Number 99, Lachlan Haynes. Number 51, Lachlan Taylor Naseby. Number 90, Letoya Solomona. Number 69, Matthew O. Number 8, Matthew Major. Number 5, Max Custon. Number 0, Max Schlatter. Number 11, Mitchell Bessie. Number 27, Noah Wilson. Number 2, Robert Corcutt. Number 10, Selby Scott. Number 1, Taj Borden. Number 91, Tivita Alani Ngata. Number 4, Tim Tuikaba. Number 7, Tom Hodgkinson. Number 52, Tyrell Sharp. Number 36, Tyson Garner. Number 29, Vladimir Pan. Number 81, Warwick Russell. Number 63, William Moore. And head coach, Peter Brewer. Please welcome your team. Now welcoming our New Zealand Iron Blacks. Number 11, Asher Swinky. Number 25, Benjamin Davies. Red Law. Number 6, Daisy Motuma. David Nantua. Number 33, Gabriel Thacker. Number 19, Inoke Toma. Number 78, Chakeo Evalu. Number 52, James Bariki. Jay Williams. Number 93, Jonah Ferguson Johnson. Number 57, Joseph Kearney. Number 99, Joshua Serrete. Number 2, Kamer Ane. Marcia. Number 29, Kelemete Maile. Number 69, Letterman Tutaulani. Number 9, Lebron Lapulu. Number 64, Musate Pauvale. Number 7, Mark Tiniao. Number 73, Nicholas Purcell. Number 49, Norbert Muller. Number 68, OJ Puletua. Number 34, Vincent Muller. Number 91, Seth Leslie. Number 3, Zaya Nelly Zaya. Number 23, Siva Tupiko. Number 21, Tahilanu Toromana. Number 79, Saba Omai Lomoli. Yevita Yokoyo. Number 12, Tolu Petoli Lese. Tom Davey. Number 0, Tommy Seal. 95, Joanne Fitzgerald. 59, Zakia Kuvaji. Number 10, Zephaniah Setu. Head coach, Harry Siono. January officials, head referee, Ken Range. Umpire, Don McMillan. Down judge, Greg Evans. Line judge, David Hodgkinson. Field judge, Matt Gordon. Back judge, Kevin Graham. Side judge, Lister. Please welcome your officials. Standing for the national anthem.
Welcome, everyone. We are here for the matinee game of our afternoon. It's been a fantastic day of football today. We're here for the finale in the series, the New Zealand men's game versus Australia. My name's Shiraz, and I'm joined here in the commentary booth with Tino. Welcome, Tino.
Thank you, Shiraz, for having me.
We've got two big squads here. Both the Australia and New Zealand teams are looking upwards of 40 players. Couple of big games this morning. Under 16s kicked off the day with New Zealand going down to Australia, followed by the Colts, which was a much tighter affair with New Zealand losing 34-22 in the end. We're now here for much anticipated men's game, with this match coming to the last play last year. Do you remember?
Yes.
So as the New Zealand team gets ready for the haka, and similar to the previous two games of the day, it will get support not just from the crowd, but also from the under 16s and under 18s players as well.
And as always, Shiraz beating the All Blacks haka is no other than David Natu.
If you're ready for some amazing triple action, make some noise.
Football team in New Zealand, but also with a number of veteran players in this team. Do you know, this is one of the most star-studded teams in New Zealand's recent history. We see Australia here with a really big squad as well. They've brought in some firepower of their own. I think it's going to make for a fantastic contest.
Yes, it's going to be a physical matchup today against two powerful teams, versus Tasman. And of course, we know that last year the Indians didn't quite go so well. So they
came down to the last play, though.
Came down to the last play. They could have done it, but they all have that chip on their shoulder. So they've got some unfinished business, as some of these.
Absolutely, and you know, for those of you joining at home, it's a brisk winter Auckland day. It looks really nice and warm out there on camera, but I assure you it is cold. The aircon and the commentary box has been turned up as well. It's a lot warmer on the field than it is up here, but we will keep you company for the next 2 and a bit hours.
It looks like a sellout crowd.
It is, and we've seen this crowd streaming in all day.
Yes.
Probably
Filling up
not
the
many blue seats left. You probably can't see that on camera because you're looking at the far side of the field, but there's a very, very strong, mostly home crowd here. Great to see some Australians in the crowd as well.
Yes, yes.
Lots of friends and family flying down across the ditch to watch their sons, husbands, dads maybe
Yes.
play.
Got a good crowd turn out for our game of American football. And as you know, Shiraz, with this game going on, we really don't have that crowd engagement into our game. But as of today, it could slightly change in the coming future with the game of American football here in Aotearoa.
Absolutely. So here we go. It looks like New Zealand are starting on offense. New Zealand's returners. What can you tell me about them? We've
from where I can see
it's number
the
9.
commentary box.
One person to watch out for today is number 0. That's Tommy Seal. See him with the long hair, you won't be able to miss him. But he is a game changer wherever he's on the field. Ball goes over his head and it just goes out of bounds.
Ooh, it looks like a flag there, Shiraz.
Yep, so that ball went out of bounds. That will be illegal kick. And New Zealand will get the option of taking a re-kick or accepting the ball, I believe that should be on the 40-yard line, should it not? Yep, so we're going to play the ball from 30. And will be New Zealand's first down now. New Zealand are led by quarterback Tolu. He has been a big part of this national team for a few years, and he leads this New Zealand offense. New Zealand come out with a single wide receiver, 2 running back set. They've got 2 tight ends in the formation. So coming out with a heavy set, looking to establish the run game early and come out with the play action. Look off that, and Tolu finds his wide receiver, Seto, for a corner route to get a 15-yard gain on the first play of the game. Came out and run heavy set there.
Yes, correct.
Single wide receiver, probably thought it was a run. I thought it was a run. Good surprise play to start the game. Stay in a single wide receiver set with Seto, the lone receiver. This time it's a run. Sifa finds a seam up the middle. Gets a 10-yard gain and pushed over for a couple more by his offensive line. New Zealand opting to come out with a fullback, Quinton, in what I believe is his last game.
Yes, correct. This is his last international game as he is retiring from the game of American football.
This is the last game in any format. And speaking of Quinton, he gets the ball there, gets another first down, and they're down to the Australian 12-yard line. What a storyline.
Very, very.
Close to 10 years, probably more than 10-year career.
I believe
Quinny.
About 20 plus years Quinton has played American football, starting from the junior grades. Worked his way up to the Colts. Did a few games, a few seasons overseas, and come back to Aotearoa and finish off the season with the Kiwi Bowl champions, which is South Auckland Raiders.
What a way to finish, right? Storybook. Finish to your career.
Yes.
New Zealand still in their single wide receiver, 2 running back format. It's working for them. Tino under centre. Passes the ball off to new running back Ben Davies, who gets a shallow 3-yard gain. Ben Davies will be a prominent piece of this running game as well. He is one of, I believe, 4 running backs on this roster at the moment. As you know, as a former running back, you know it's a punishing position.
Very punishing position. You got to fight for these yards, and obviously you go up against bigger bodies. You just got to fight for every yard.
Tolu stays under centre. The toss to the right. He's got Ben Davis running behind Quinney. Finds some space. Gets outside for his first touchdown of the game. New Zealand are up 6-0 behind a heavy dose of the run game in that last quarter.
And as we could see from the previous play, Shiraz, they were using really much in the middle, trying to suck in those defenders, especially those outside linebackers, and then using the speed from Ben Davies to hit that corner for that touchdown.
And you look at the start of the drive as well. Just by showing that pass and the ability to connect downfield on the first play, it doesn't allow Australia to commit to the run.
Exactly.
Because they know, the safeties know that they have a threat that they've got to worry about. And Settle really helped open up those run games for the offensive line and running back. Daisy in the game now for the 1-point conversion. A little bit of confusion here on the New Zealand kickoff team. They had someone run onto the field and quickly realised there were too many players on the field.
Looks like Harry didn't want to burn that time out, but he had the first got to, so miscommunication there from the PAT team.
Would you just take a 5-yard penalty there?
Pretty much take a 5-yard penalty and just
Take another kick. Yeah, kicker's got the leg. Timeouts are important, aren't they?
very important. If you don't use it wisely, it can cost you very end.
You see so many games won and lost in the last 2 minutes of each half. Great start for New Zealand. Let's see if they can make it 7. And that kick is blocked. And bit of confusion there, but that is a live ball. So every time it is blocked, the ball is live until it is downed. Australia could have returned that for a 2-point try of their own, but instead it is just an incomplete conversion, and we go to kickoff.
And you can see Shiraz that blocked field goal, chased down by Hamish Windsor. You can see there's a lot of speed to show on the defense getting to the backfield.
So we're going to see what Australia come out with here on offense. Oh, that's a fumble, and that is recovered by New Zealand. That was stripped before he was down. And it looks like, for now at least, the call is that it is New Zealand's ball. The referees are getting together.
And we could see that New Zealand player number 11, Asher Swanky, getting to the defender and just putting that arm and then yanking that ball out, which caused the fumble.
And it is confirmed a fumble. That is New Zealand's ball. New Zealand have a player down. That is number 92.
And that's Daniel Thompson.
Gotta hope he's going to be okay. It's a lot of preparation for this game. Gone into it.
Indeed. Last thing you want to have, especially in the game, this intense is an injury that will most likely sort of cause you to have a break or to have a rest. And it's unfortunate it's happened, so speedy recovery and prayers, nothing serious has happened.
And meanwhile, it looks like New Zealand are actually setting up for another kickoff, this time from their 20-yard line. So that probably indicates to me that there was a penalty on the field and it's going to be a re-kick. New Zealand player Daniel getting a bit of attention and treatment. This one might take a little bit of time, ladies and gentlemen, as the players are heading back to the sidelines. So all we can hope for is New Zealand player is okay. And rest assured that he's got great medical attention. I think it was in the tackle. He was one of the players who held the ball runner up, and unfortunately, when you have collisions in sport of this nature, that you get caught in really tough positions sometimes. What are some of your storylines for this game? What are you particularly looking forward to seeing?
I'm looking at a moving offense as well as a stoppable defense. We all know that offense can win games and again, but defense wins championships. So a bit of balance. We don't want to have a overscoring offense and a weak defense. Sort of want the two teams to be sort of equal.
I think so far the initial storyline is that this New Zealand offense has a lot of firepower. We also know that the Australian offense has a lot of firepower in their team. So it'll be good to see what the New Zealand defense will be like, and in particular what I'd expect to be an aerial offense from the Australian team. And that one is down for a touchback. It's a fantastic kick from New Zealand all the way from the 20-yard line.
A little bit of background. The story with that number 6, Daisy Motunga. He is a former rugby player. So as you've seen that kick from the 30 right down into the end goal, he's got a big power behind his legs, so you'd be surprised that a lot of his kicks will be ending up in the end zone today's game.
and we've seen Daisy kick at club level. We know he's got at least 30 to 40 yards in his boot for a field goal, so that's just something to bear in mind as this game comes in. So here we go. Australia lined up in a spread formation. They've got 3 receivers to the left and 1 running back. New Zealand counter that with a 4-4 defense, and they send pressure.
And it's no other than that number 1, the captain, Ala Kaufana.
New Zealand they've got a heavy box here. They've got 8 players in the box. Right, so that's something this Australian offensive line will really need to deal with.
Yes.
And at some stage, they've got 2 running backs in the backfield at the moment. They've got 2 wide receivers. Motioned out to 3 wide receiver set. They're looking to pass. They're going downfield, and it's a blown coverage. Number 11 from Australia downfield. And that is going to be a touchdown. Disappointing there for New Zealand. Looked like they bit on a quick bubble screen. And either the safety or corner did not keep the deep responsibility. It looked like that was man coverage, so there will be one of those players, unfortunately, in the huddle who is going to be making up for that in a couple of plays.
Yeah, and that was number 11, Mitchell Bess. We could see, as we said before, Shiraz, the balance of an offense and a defense. So we've now seen the offense power through New Zealand, and it just showed here in a couple of plays that Australia just answered back.
And that's the reality. You just can't, with a team this good on offense, that secondary has to be in sync. They've got to be communicating. They've got to know in some of these complex combinations that Australians will be running on offense, they've got to know who's got who and what's which. And it looks like that was just a breakdown. No doubt that's something the coaches will fix. But from Australia's perspective, what a way to start.
What a way to start.
QB, that's a real confidence booster as well. You've seen that go to hand. You've seen this ball fly out and go all the way downfield for what was a 80-yard touchdown for the game. So
Yeah.
all that momentum New Zealand earned at the start, that swung right back to Australia. Let's see how New Zealand responds.
No doubt Coach Lorenzo there in the defensive squad will come into a huddle and reset, and hopefully don't make that mistake again.
Australia with another deep kickoff. This one's caught in the end zone. New Zealand are returning it. Get to the outside. Looks like they've got a little bit of a crease here. They take it out and they return that to just short of the 40-yard line. Fantastic return there by number 9.
Livran La'akulu. Good blocking up from the kickoff team front line, just to come to our point to get those yards.
So here we go, New Zealand back on offense. And this time they have 3 wide receivers split out to the right in a bunch formation with a single back. So second different formation they've shown us. Hand off to running back Ben Davies. Ben gets about 2 yards on that gain on the left flank. It looks like Australia are committing to the run here. The trips formation didn't seem to overcommit them down to that right-hand side. And with the stable of running backs New Zealand has, that is a good game plan here as well. Australia with the 4-man defensive front, New Zealand in a trips formation to the right again. This time, quick bubble pass, finds Sito Filo out in the flat, and Sito gets a short 3-yard gain, and it looks to be a 3rd and 6. We saw a lot of that in the under-18s game where New Zealand relied on quick game and bubble screens and swing passes. They will be using that to keep this Australian team off balance. As we see the crowd get into the game here. Tolu under center now. With Ben in the backfield, play action. Tolu rolls out to the right. He's got a man open deep, but he drops it off to, I want to say, his tight end, and it looks like they might have gotten first down with that second push.
And
that is first down.
Yes, and that's that number 23, Sifa Chukutau.
And Sifa is a massive threat to watch all day today. He is going to be someone who, once he has the ball in his hand, very hard to bring down.
There is no stopping, yes. Sifa is one of those players to look out for, especially in the New Zealand's team. A lot of these Australians have met Sifa, so he is the threat to look out for.
Looks like Daisy's a single wide receiver in at the moment. Handoff to Ben Davies, who gets some space to the right. Broke contain, gets out for another first down. Patient run there for Ben. Look for options on the left. There's nothing there. Reverse to the right.
And that's the beauty of being a running back and with the speed that you've got when there's nothing happening in the actual play formation or the lane that you're supposed to run in, and then all of a sudden you see open space because everybody's crowded in there. Gives you that big 10-yard gain, so well done, Ben Davis.
I noticed that Anisetto Filo came off the field previous play with a bit of a limp, and Daisy's in the game, so here we go, and that is back to Quinn, the fullback, who gains another 5 yards and a very quick handoff. And they're very hard to stop, aren't they, those fullback dives?
Very hard to stop, especially if the line understands the blocking scheme and they pick and choose who to block for. So their running game is really helping them move the chains.
Second and 5 here for the New Zealand offense. Tolu under center, 2 running backs, 2 tight ends and a wide receiver. This time hands it off to Ben Davies, who finds another gap up the middle. And he crashes down for another first down, this time a 10-yard gain down to the Australian 20-yard line. New Zealand offensive line seems to be opening up a few holes here.
Yes. So far, no penalties. That's what we like to see.
Same formation, Tolu under center again. Hands it off to Ben Davies again. Ben finding some space out on the left, stays patient. And he's brought down for a nominal 2-yard gain. So now that we're down into the red zone, one thing that we know Harry likes to do is to try and get the ball in Sifa's hands. Is this sort of situation where you'd expect to see Sifa come in to running back a little bit as well?
In this situation, especially in the red zone, yes. But with that momentum last year, I think Harry's had a few tricks up his sleeve, especially in this part of the game or within this area. So let's wait and see if he gets a little bit closer before Sifa's going to take that.
Australia are stacking the box a little bit more at the moment. They are committing to the run game here. Whether that works or not, we'll see. Tolu with the quick pass option here. Didn't like his options, just threw the ball away. I think he was looking for Daisy on a one-on-one. Looked like it was a curl at the sticks, but Australia bit on that one. Good news for New Zealand is Seto is back in the game, number 22. The injury is not serious. New Zealand in a 2-back formation again. Single wide receiver to the left. Tolu under center. Play action, rolls out. He's got an open receiver there. Seto open to the left, and he nearly brings it in. Great ball by Tolu there. Seto managed to get a step on the DB, but unfortunately just could not bring that ball in. That's one I know he'll want back. Got a hand to it.
Got to give it up to Joe Tuiniao, who is the New Zealand All Blacks offense coordinator. One of his go-to plays.
We've seen that play a couple of times now where on that play action as Tolu rolls out to the right, got a post coming over the top. And Seto with Sifa looking to the flat. So he's got two levels of options there, and he chose the deeper one that time. Split backs this time. Tolu in gun, under pressure, rolls to his right, finds a man across the middle. Is that brought in? It's broken up. So 3 Australian defensive backs around the wide receiver that time. Unfortunately, New Zealand couldn't thread the needle. Great stop there from Australia.
Looks like Australia can identify the bigger threat, which is Seto. Reading him coming on the inside route and just having the safety sit there. A good play on the defensive side from Australia.
It's one of those things, isn't it? When you're down to 4th down and long, and the team knows you're going to commit to the pass, it's very hard to bend.
Yeah.
Unless you've got 3 or 4 receivers on the field, it's very hard to convert those.
Correct.
Man in motion for Australia. Out to the left. You've got 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Quick bubble pass, flag in the air. Quick game. It looks like they get pretty close to 1st down, but it might be a flag as well. So they might get to choose here whether they want gain or the defensive offside.
Yeah, making that tackle was number 83, Brent Law.
What would you take here? 7-yard gain or 1st and 5 with the penalty? I'd take the 1st and 5.
Yeah, I'll take 1st and 5. But it looks
like that's what they've taken.
Yeah.
Maybe not. They've taken the second and 3.
They've taken the yards.
Yep, 6.
Going up with a 4 down lineman.
Australia snap the ball. Double pass. Picked off there. That is number 29 for New Zealand. This safety read that one well. Australia went to a trick play early in the game. There was a wide receiver screen into a double pass. And it was just a little bit inaccurate. And it looks like the receiver lost footing. But number 29 for New Zealand comes up with a big play.
Yes, that number 29, Kelemete Maile. Obviously a active player for the Tikanini Giants here in Aotearoa. And that's what they've been working on with Coach Lorenzo in the camps, is to don't feel the pressure, especially on the defense. Don't bite too early and just let the game flow through your way, because it'll end up going your way. So in this case, that's a turnover and downs. New Zealand ball on the 30.
So they get another life at the previous drive, which, knowing Harry, he probably would have wanted more out of. They get 1st down here from the Australian 18-yard line. As we see the coaches leaving the huddle, we see Coach Joe getting final instructions on this drive to the team. A little bit of confusion there on the New Zealand sideline, but they've got the players they want in the huddle now. Like we talked about, Sifa is in that running back at the moment. Sifa gets the ball. There's not much there, but he still works out maybe 2 yards out of that run. Very hard to bring down, but you've got to commit a team to him.
Well done on Australia for identifying the run game and just having everybody that is ready to come down on that tackle. Because as we said before, Sifa is a hard running back to bring down. So,
in Australia's defense has really tightened, hasn't it?
Yeah, great.
New Zealand were able to find a few holes in the run game early on, but it looks like they have really made some adjustments. It looks like they've gone to a 5-man defensive front. There's a fullback dive, and again, fantastic level of discipline from Australia. And that time it was defensive tackle number 90 who just stayed on his gap, stayed disciplined, and was able to make that tackle for loss.
And that's Letoy Solomona, number 90 from Australia. Again, like you said before, Shiraz, it looks like their defense has tightened up. They're identifying the threats on the New Zealand teams.
New Zealand with a single wide receiver formation here on 3rd down. Very hard to pass out of this, but it does help with their run. And there we go, just like that. Sifa gets the ball, gets downfield, and he has a first down by the looks of it. And that is signaled first down. Fantastic run up the middle there by Sifa. Who needs to pass when you've got Sifa on your team, eh?
Exactly. Again, with how big Sifa is, don't underestimate his footwork. He's pretty elusive, especially when you can't find a correct hole to run into.
That looks like the end of the quarter.
It's a very tight game, Shiraz. It's what we predicted from the beginning. Two powerful offensive going at each other, and two effective defensive stopping those momentums from happening.
Yeah, I have been very impressed with this Australian red zone defense. They were able to make the big stop on the last drive. Outside of that last play, they were playing it very tight. New Zealand managed to get a first down there. But, against a run team, it is very hard to get those last 5 and 10 yards. New Zealand do need to show that ability to make some of these red zone passes. Otherwise, you're going to see Australia put 8 players in the box to counter what is a dominant run game. But in saying that, you've got to go with what's working. And right now, what's working for New Zealand is the run game.
Yeah.
End of this first quarter, start of the second, on a brisk winter morning here in Auckland.
Yes.
An I formation here with Tolu under center, Sifa in the backfield. Toss to the right. Quinney with the edge block, and Sifa, does he get over the line? He does, and that is a touchdown for New Zealand.
And as we said before, Shiraz, with Sifa's footwork and with that commitment of the O-line of getting him through that the end drive there, gives them 6 points.
Yeah, look, that O-line has been absolutely on fire here. And Quinton as well with a really good kick-out block on the edge. Left one man initially for Sifa to beat. He took on a couple more. But too big, too strong, close to the
Too
goal
big,
line.
too strong. And it looks like they're going for 2 instead of the 1 point.
Yeah, they missed their first conversion, so this will bring them back into level pegging. The toss out to the right again. Same play. Sifa being patient, doesn't quite get it this time. Very patient runner. Australia did commit to that one. Exact same play, but number 7 and number 43 there for Australia to plug up that hole.
Yes, correct. That number 7 just managed to tip Sifa's legs for him to fall short of a 2-point conversion. Tom Hodgkinson.
New Zealand up 12-7 after that failed conversion, but second touchdown of the game, and are now going to be kicking off to Australia. How awesome is it to be out here on a long weekend here in New Zealand for Matariki?
Yeah, really awesome.
Yeah, the Festival of Football on home soil this year. Massive thank you and shout out to our partners and friends in Australia and to help bring this event over here, and look forward to taking teams to Australia next year again.
Yeah.
And that's a return up the middle. One thing we've seen Australia time and time again so far is special teams. They have been really well drilled, haven't they?
Yeah. As we can see from that return, it doesn't look like they're letting off the gas pedal. They are coming straight right back.
That's what you want to see with competitive teams like this, and competitors on both sides, is punch and counter punch. Australia here coming out with 3 wide receivers and 2 in the backfield. Motion man to the right, that makes it 4 wide receivers in a full spread formation. New Zealand bringing pressure. QB rolls out to the right, and he takes off and gets about 7 yards before he is taken down. But he gets straight back on his feet. Number 13 quarterback from Australia.
And that's Aston Hewitt.
Now, I was speaking to Aston's club coach just before, Craig Wilson, on the sideline, and Aston's a very good pocket passer. He has the ability, as we just saw, to scramble when he needs to, but he's someone New Zealand will need to keep an eye on and cannot let him control the game. We saw that first pass of the game go downfield. We know Aston will punish you if you're not playing to your cues. Australia back into a spread formation, 3 receivers to the left. It's a delayed handoff to the running back, who goes up the middle and gets a first down. New Zealand there overcommitted to the pass. They had everyone in coverage.
Again, New Zealand, they fell threatened of that pass. And obviously having everybody drop back into a pass position and forgetting about the draw play, which our linebackers were spread. So
it's a very hard one to counter, isn't it? That draw play out of spread. Australia in spread again. They're in empty at the moment. 5 receivers. New Zealand with a 4-3 formation against that. Heaves it down the sideline and broken up by the defensive back for New Zealand. That was Brent Law.
Again, it looks like Brent Law's having a good game, shutting down a couple of those passes. And we all know Australia, with their passing game, their receivers will go up for it.
Australia opting to take a bit of a chance there on first down. That shows how much confidence they have in this offense to play second down onwards. Australia motions out to the left. They've got 3 receivers to the left. That's a option. There's a pitch to the running back, who races out to the left-hand sideline. It looks like they're very close to a first down. They've really kept this New Zealand team off balance, haven't they? They've shown a bit of everything. They've shown the ability to pass downfield. They've shown the ability to run. They've thrown in a draw, and they've thrown in a QB pitch as well. So that makes it really difficult for a defense to cover everything.
Yes. And obviously we know this defense scheme has certain type of plays to shut down certain type of schemes. And obviously Australia's throwing at least 5.
Australia in a split back formation, at least for now. You go out of that, it's a run up the middle, and it looks like they have the yards and some. And they're well within the New Zealand red zone now. They're at the 17-yard line.
And again, they're running back number 3, Calder Jade Shanks. Australia could see a little bit of leakage coming through that defensive side. So they opted to do the running game.
Australia have a 3-receiver bubble to the right here. Single back. And it looks like that was a inside handoff. Or was that the QB? Was that a QB draw?
Yes, QB draw.
Again, another different look. They've shown us a bunch of different options on offense here. The quarterback's helmet's come off, so he's got to come off for a play. So Aston's off for a play, perhaps a couple.
And obviously we could see Aston Hewitt taking the ball in his own hands, trying to fight for these yards to get Australia back on top of the board.
So we've got number 1 from Australia in a quarterback that looks like Taj Borden, who's in the game for at least this play. Looks for an option, he's off, and he gets taken down. Number 91 for New Zealand with the big stop.
Yes, a very important tackle made by number 91.
We don't have number 91 on the sheet we have up in the commentary box, so...
Sorry, yes. I've just found his name. That's number 91, Seth Leslie.
And that's Seth again with another big stop.
Again, and we were just finding his name into the spreadsheet. That number 91, Seth Leslie.
Seth, who plays his football out at the Hamilton Hawks team. Makes a big stop there, back-to-back stops, to get Australia into 4th down, and it looks like they might have brought on the field goal unit. Sort of that really big 5-tech, isn't he?
Yes.
Bit of the JJ Watt type.
I would say yes.
I'm sure some of Seth's coaches watching from home, Ben Freeman and the like, will be very proud watching those last couple of plays. Looks like that kick is up, and it is good. So Australia are down 12-10 after that field goal. New Zealand's defense really tightening up towards the end and preventing a full touchdown. But just shows that that kick probably had another 20 yards on it as well.
Exactly. And as we can see, Shiraz, obviously we've known the firepower that Australia offense can bring, with the QB adding his own little spice to it. Having to scramble around and get the defensive squad sort of spread it out. So I know Coach Lorenzo will be talking on the sideline and getting the group, the defensive squad regrouped and to sort of watch out for these couple of QBs.
Absolutely. It is much harder, isn't it, when you've got 2 quarterbacks to work with. We saw Taj, he's very shifty, he's really quick. And you've got Aston, who appears to be their downfield passing type. Another return here from New Zealand. He's still on his feet, jumps over a couple, and he makes his way to the 34-yard line. Number 9 for New Zealand, returning that one.
That's that live run, La'akulu. And it looks like we have a player down. after that massive game return from LeBron. Looks like we have a New Zealand player down, Shiraz.
Did we get a number on that one? And this is the one thing, right? This is something that's in conversations now. You see the NFL make changes to kickoff. It's special teams, especially kickoff, kick return is where you see most of the injuries pile up. You have players running at each other from
One end of the field.
two ends of the field, and
colliding together.
And as much as it's entertaining, it does take a toll on these players, and it's one of the things that leagues are looking around the world at reducing the impact on.
They're trying to eliminate that, just to save the players as well, for them to play longer, and just don't sustain long-term injuries. And it looks like...
There's Kelly.
Yes.
And, you know, as former players and current coaches, you know, I don't mind those changes in the game at the moment. You know, you do like seeing special teams and special kickoff and kick return, but anything you can do to really keep those players healthy, are changes that the game needs. So it's great to see those happening internationally, and those do filter down through to the rules we play with over time.
Over time, correct.
New Zealand in their two-back formation, going downfield. He's got a man open and a little bit underthrown there, but under pressure as well. So
intended receiver again, number 22, Seto Filo.
Notice New Zealand are very content to be in the single wide receiver formation. Looks like they want to play to their strengths of multiple tight ends and running backs.
We haven't seen a lot of changes on that offense, like you said, Shiraz. And again, what is working for them and making those yards is what they're sticking with.
It's also probably important to note that the depth in this squad is probably in the trenches, in the tight end and running back positions, isn't it? Australia showing a five-man defensive front, back to Ben Davies, who gets past the first line, and he's taken down at about 5 after a 6-yard gain. So Australia have adjusted here. They're in a five-man defensive front with 3 linebackers behind. Those double tight end formations really make it hard for a traditional 4-man front, especially try and get contained.
Yes, it does.
One thing we know about Australia is they're going to be coached absolutely well. They'll have a crew of about 8 coaches with this team at the moment. New Zealand catches them off guard a little bit there, gets a good 7-yard first down. Australia weren't quite set in formation, and that allows fullback Quinney to gain a quick and
easy,
destructive run to get first down. And that's what we know about Quinney. He wants that ball in his hands early before the linebackers have a chance to diagnose where he's going.
Yes. That was a good run by Quinney. A good blocking up scheme from the offensive line.
He's got quick feet, doesn't he? He doesn't stop them moving. Tolu drops back, looks for his options there. He catches it downfield, and that one is number 10 with a downfield grab.
And that's Zephaniah Setu. Zephaniah Setu being brought in to play wide receiver. Initial position is a DB.
Great little corner out there from Zeph. Again, New Zealand working off that play action passing game. They've established the run. Australia had to commit to that, which does mean you're basically playing one-on-one downfield with your wide receiver, and Zephaniah that time able to take advantage of it. Goes back to Quinney up the middle on a fullback dive, and another 5 yards. You just can't stop that, can you?
You can't stop it. You cannot stop unless you alter the linebackers to sort of play up inside the box. And with Quinton having the ball in hand, he is quick and shifty again. And just fighting his way just to get those yards for New Zealand. So Good run by Quinton Mueller, number 34.
In the middle of summer, we'd call that 5 yards and a puff of smoke. Because, those trenches up the middle are well and truly down to the hard pan, and I'm sure the running backs will much more appreciate running on the softer winter grass at the moment.
Yes. I think New Zealand team, especially with Australia, pretty much likely about the groundwork.
New Zealand are 2 running back split backfield. Tolu looks to pass it, and he gets there with number 8. On a wide receiver screen, he is brought down at the 1 yard line. A nice little catch there.
That was intended receiver number 8, Jade Williams.
Great catch there by Williams. Takes it down. They look like a tight end screen. Offensive lineman got ahead of it and really just allowed Jade Williams to run free.
And again, Australia were sizing up that run. And we could see them bite through the formation, which opened up that tight end screen. So, great work on that offensive coordinator, Joe. And they opted to go for a sneak.
There you go.
And he's in.
He's in there. And that time, Sifa again gets in, this time behind left guard Lisiate Pauvale, who opened up the hole for New Zealand's 3rd touchdown of the game.
Again, scratch that, Shiraz. That was a QB sneak by
Tolu.
Yeah.
Was that Tolu?
That was Tolu behind that line of scrimmage, running it straight down the middle and into the end zone. Well done, offensive line from New Zealand.
Center left guard combination there was able to really get that push through.
And as we say it in rugby terms, the scrum has been working for them.
Very timely with the All Blacks about to kick off as well. And here's a trick formation with 3 of the offensive line split out to the right. Sifa with the ball down the sideline and 6 orange or yellow jerseys around him. Interesting formation there. They moved 3 of the offensive linemen out to play wide receiver and run behind them, but unfortunately it didn't work this time.
It didn't work this time. Again, Coach Harry and that offensive coordinator, Joe, they got tricks up their sleeves, so, they're having a bit of fun with it as well.
And Coach Joe Tuinau there, he's really, he's played over in America. He played college football before a highly decorated rugby career, and he is an absolute student of the game, and you can see he has got a whole lot of tricks up his sleeve, and really good to see some of those being deployed, because ultimately this game is about disguise. It's about keeping your opponent off balance, and the team that gets the better of that is the one that wins. So 18-10 now. It's still a 1 touchdown game. Does need a 2-point conversion, but New Zealand are leading Australia going into halftime so far. Kick off there by Daisy. It's a good kick. Caught at the 10-yard line by the Australian returner. And he's taken down at the 33-yard line.
That's a return by number 0 from Australia, Max Schlatter. Now, notice with this Australian team, Shiraz, a lot of speed.
Yeah.
And with speed, there comes a lot of mobility, especially for the big guys, the offensive line and D-line. Those big guys are moving.
Couple of subs in here for New Zealand. Got Dwayne Collier coming into corner. Pass is caught there, and Dwayne Collier was there to make the tackle with Game. That time there, Australia catching New Zealand in a run-heavy formation and was able to get behind that group of linebackers for a 10-yard out and first down. It looks like that might be the 2-minute warning.
That was tackle made by number 24, Dwayne Golio.
Trips to the left. New Zealand showing a 4-3 defensive front. Fast play here. Balls downfield. And that is well defended there by Game. Free safety or slot. Oh, sorry, nickel for New Zealand.
Pass deflected by number 2, Game Anai. And great work for Game for dropping back and getting his hands on that ball.
Notice Australia now have taken a few shots on first down.
Yes.
They seem quite content to be able to battle second down onwards. So just something to keep an eye out for. New Zealand back to their spread formation. Australia back to spread formation rather. New Zealand in their 4-3 shell with 4 defensive backs. Ball down the middle. That's caught by wide receiver number 11 for Australia. And again, Game there to make the tackle. So Australia seem to, I wouldn't say they've gone away from the run game, but they've realised that their passing game, especially to the intermediate part of the field, in between New Zealand's 4-3 box and defensive back shell, there's a lot of space there, and they seem to exploit it at the moment. Back to the pass game here for Aston. Steps through, finds an open wide receiver, and that's another first down for Australia. So I'll correct that. Looks like he was out of bounds just before first down, but that gives him a second and short. So it's time to realise that short to intermediate is where to attack this New Zealand defence. And this is where we need to see the pass rush for New Zealand start to step up and try and change the trajectory of that game plan. Interesting formation here. We've got a wide bubble for Australia, a trip set to the left, single receiver to the right. That's matched by 3 defensive backs for New Zealand to the left. QB goes to the single side, catches his wide receiver, number 9 there as a comeback route. Very hard to stop in a one-on-one situation. You've got to protect against that fade. Number 8, the wide receiver there, just came back to about the 10-yard line and gets another first down. New Zealand are in man coverage at the moment.
And that's 2 times that number 8, Matthew Major, has completed 2 of those good passes. So he is exploiting that 43 to back shell as well. So he sees something out there that the defense not picking up.
Australia in the pass set again. New Zealand bring pressure, and this time they get to him. So we talked about the counter, and Aston's helmet comes off again. So we talked about the counter there. The counter is they're going to send the blitz. Australia have to get the ball out quicker.
They definitely send the heat there, and it's no other than number 1, Alakaufana.
Australia have just called a timeout that allows them to bring their quarterback back into the game. Looks like we might be inside the 2-minute warning here. Can't be long to go for halftime. All right. Australia with 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. This is the formation that New Zealand has had a lot of trouble with. Allah's out in coverage against the slot receiver at the moment. And there we go to the outside, and that is a 10-yard gain, and that takes them down to the New Zealand 10-yard line on third down. So it looks like Australia's game here is to put New Zealand's linebackers into coverage.
And that's was just about there, Shiraz, spreading the linebackers into coverage, shutting them down through the middle and especially on their run game. It just keeps them away from getting to the ball runners as well, especially with these quick receivers that Australia has. So a good play on Australia.
Saying that, they've gone back to 2 tight ends. So pass play here again, goes to a single option, and that is a catch down the sideline, and looks like he's out of bounds.
Again, Shiraz, number 83, Brent Law, coming up with a big play. He was all over that receiver.
Strong grab there by the receiver.
Yes, the number 8 again.
Unfortunately, just couldn't keep his feet in bound, but that was a phenomenal effort to come down with the ball. And that goes, is that third down? It looks like it's fourth down, and Australia are going for the field goal here. They had no problem converting the last one from 20 yards out. This one makes it an 18-yard kick. Ball down, kicks up, and it is good. So Australia are trailing New Zealand 18 points to 13. What does the scoreboard say? 7? 17? They can't be right. I think it's 18 to 13.
They will update it.
So the scoreboard is being corrected. It is 18 to 13.
So again, Australia turning their drive into 3 points. Just not getting the ball into the end zone. That last play broken up by New Zealand number 83. And we have the kickoff.
Australia with the kickoff, and that goes into the end zone and onto the athletic track. That Australian kicker, number 19, he's got a boot on him, doesn't he?
And we thought that Daisy has a boot. This Australian is coming back with a boot of their own.
You look at the pedigree as well with Australian players in the NFL, and the punters and the kickers in particular.
Yeah.
Here we go. New Zealand out here on offense at their own 25-yard line. They've gone to a spread formation now. They've brought 3 wide receivers in and a single back with a tight end. Tolu out the gun. Has time. Looks downfield. He's got a DB. And that is intercepted by number 18 from Australia. Tolu, they're looking to go downfield early. They've had a chance. They've taken a chance a few times now on first down. Looked for Daisy, but unfortunately threw that one into coverage, and number 18 from Australia comes down with a much-needed interception.
Yes, and then number 18 is Hamish Windsor. And again, with New Zealand offense, trying to go to the air for first down. Cost them the turnover, so first down Australia.
It looked like Australia were ready for that pass early in the down count. And perhaps they have looked at the trends and picked off that. Australia here in a 3 wide receiver set. New Zealand with 7 in the box. Quarterback drops back for a pass, takes off, makes a couple man miss, and is taken down after a 3-yard gain. And it looks like Aston, the quarterback, is down. At least temporarily. Australia have just called a timeout. Good to see him back on his feet. He gets...
And that's a tackle made by number 99, Joshua Sangote.
So, not long to go to halftime now. Australia 2nd down and 7. QB steps back to pass. Down the middle to number 3. Great completion again. Gets behind those linebackers, short of the safeties, and that seems to be the zone that Australia are hunting. And they've called another timeout, looking to preserve clock here, perhaps to get a shot into the end zone, or at least set themselves up for a field goal to cut this lead down before the half.
And that was tackle made by number 2, Game. But it looks like Australia has opted to use number 1 instead of the number 11 as previously. So they've gone back to their 3rd backup string QB.
Yeah, you did see Aston come off there with a little bit of a niggle, so I do wonder if Taj is now going to be taking over the rest of this half at least, just to give Aston a wee bit of a break to recover. It's saying that, they're both heading out to the field, so... And they're both in the backfield. So look out for something interesting here.
We both know...
Both quarterbacks are in the backfield. You've got Aston, the primary. Hands it off there to Taj. Throws the ball downfield. We called it.
And we've seen this play before happen.
Just a little bit behind him, but really great intent there by Australia. Looks like Taj, the second QB, is coming off the field.
Again, that was intended receiver for number 0, Max Schlatter. Again, Australia's not afraid to bring some tricks up their sleeve as well, up against this hardcore defense from New Zealand.
Australia in a spread formation. QB Aston rolls out, sprints out to the right, makes himself some space, gets downfield, out of bounds, number 0 for Australia. It's that drag route coming across the field that New Zealand just have not been able to stop today. It gets behind their backers. DBs are too far downfield with the receivers, and it looks like the field goal team's coming on for what should be a long field goal to end the half.
Again, that number 0, Max Schlatter, loves to hang around in that area. He knows that the QB can gun it to him into those open spots. So New Zealand just haven't found the answer to sort of secure that spot. So let's hope Lorenzo has sort of niggled some players around and adjusted a few formations.
Here's a 45-yard field goal from New Zealand. Kicks up, from Australia, sorry, kicks up. And it is good.
Whoa.
And that had another 10 to 15 yards on it as well. So that brings the score to 18-16 as we go into probably close to halftime.
I think it is halftime now, Shiraz.
Okay, what a weapon to have in your book, though, just to be able to roll out that sort of kick. Welcome back, everyone. We back here ready for the kickoff of our second half. Australia versus New Zealand in this finale of the Festival of Football here in nice, brisk Auckland. New Zealand are up 18-16. My name's Shiraz. I'm joined again for the second half with my co-presenter Tino. Welcome back, Tino.
Thank you very much, Shiraz, for having me.
How do we feel? Now, one thing I have noticed is the temperature has dropped another 4 degrees since the first half.
Yeah.
The field has gotten a lot colder. It's 4:30 here in the afternoon and the lights are on. How do you think that's going to affect the passing game, especially for Australia, who perhaps are not used to temperatures getting this low?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't, not sure whether they played in this type of temperature, but within the lights, I mean, New Zealand team hasn't played under any Friday night lights, and I believe with the way Australia and their season goes, they do have nighttime games, so...
Not too much in the way of difficult shadows or highlights, but regardless, it should make for a great second half. From here at the Trust Arena here in Tamaki Makaurau.
Yes. I guess, Shiraz, my question is, what are you looking at in both teams for the second half?
I think the big one that I saw is Australia started to figure out this New Zealand defense. Their passing game and the ability to hit the short intermediates. You saw the quarterback roll out and connect on some of those drag routes. I want to see how New Zealand are going to counter that.
Yeah.
I do think some of the changes need to be in how their box looks. Especially given Australia have really not committed to the run game since that. Because I do think Australia are going to double down on that strategy of getting those intermediates out. So, what about yourself?
Yeah, so the same. Guess just finding those ways to sort of knuckle down, just really tighten up that defense on New Zealand side. And again, Australia exposing their secondary, getting into the space with those completions. So, it's going to turn out to be a good second half.
Here we are, kick off into the second half, and New Zealand get there for a stop at the 25-yard line. So Australia driving, they've got the ball, they are down 2 points, and they're going to be starting at the 25-yard line. New Zealand blitz there with defensive back number 2, Game. Came off the weak side edge, but the play's called dead at the snap. It looks like that might have been a false start. Or perhaps a delay of game. We didn't quite see it, but regardless, it'll be first down and 15.
And it looks like, Shiraz, that's the first penalty we've had since the first half. So, again, fortunate on that false start or delay a game on Australia, but here they come again.
Quick pass by Australia to the under. That is number 0 again. And gets tackled out of bounds for a 5-yard gain there by Seth Leslie, number 91.
Again, then number 0, Max Schlatter, the go-to receiver. Looks like Australia is giving him more balls and finding them open spaces just to get the ball moving for Australia.
Max comes off the field now. It looks like Australia is starting with 2 running backs in the backfield. It looks like quarterback Aston is off for this drive at least. Australia in an empty set. Motion man in the backfield. It's number 8. It's a keeper here for QB Taj, but that's stopped pretty quickly by the linebacking crew led by Allah for New Zealand.
And leading the tackler was number 3, Nelly Siaya.
QB drops back here again. Another bubble screen to the wide receiver. This time he gets open and he gets downfield for what is very close to a first down. I think he might be 2 yards short. That is number 4 for Australia. The second bubble screen they've converted on this drive. And that takes them down to 4th down and 2. Looks like Australia in punt formation. Too early to take a risk here.
I guess for whatever's working, I'd rather go for it. But it does seem
Looks
they are
you're
going
right.
for it.
Yeah.
It looks
Put
like
number
they've
1.
put in number 13.
Number 13's come back onto the field. That's Aston. Oh, it's cute. It's a tight end sneak there. Number 2, tight end, motioned under center. Gets a really good push there from your center and guards, is able to get across the line. That's one way to protect your quarterback, to make sure he's not taking that hit, but also still convert a very hard to stop play.
Yes, very hard to stop if you don't know what you're looking for or bringing that motion. That number 2, Robert Colcott.
Split second decision as well, isn't it, for a defensive lineman? You see him go into center. QB drops back here. It's Aston. He gets his receiver number 4. Downfield. That's a big hit there from number 24 from New Zealand.
Big collisions out there, sure is.
That is, I believe, Dwayne Colio from New Zealand with a big hit on number 4 from Australia.
That was Tim Tuikaba, number 4 from Australia, intended receiver.
Tim's also been part of the Australian flag team in past years, and he's a big wide receiver. And that's another quick catch out to number 8 from Australia. That looks to be very close to a first down, and I think it is given. So that's a first down to Australia.
That's that number 8, Matthew Major. These receivers are stepping up Shiraz and getting these yards.
And look, a lot of these catches are actually within 5 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
What they're doing is they're just attacking these sidelines. It's bubble screens, it's quick flares, it's shoot routes. What they're trying to do is say, hey, New Zealand, we want to see your linebackers get into coverage and go out into space to cover us. That's a challenge that they're laying down. Let's see if New Zealand can match up. And there you go. Drops back again. This time he's going downfield, throws into coverage. And wide receiver number 4 from Australia. That's Tim again. Can't come down with the ball this time.
And again, that Kilimatimali at safety. He's letting that QB from Australia know, hey, keep throwing my way. I will pick you off eventually.
He's already done that once, hasn't he?
Yes. Like D-line formation led by Dylan Levi.
There we go. Got 2 pull guards to the left. Running backs breaking out. Runs behind his tacklers. Made 2 guys miss and takes a 3rd player out for a ride. That is very close to a first down. Very patient run there. You saw Australia pulled 2 guards, or guard in the center, I think, to the left. Opened up that hole. Running back number 12 stayed patient enough to be able to let those yards create themselves before making a couple of people miss downfield.
Great run by number 12, Andrew Bigidi Mana. There's a loose left to avoid the D-line from getting tackled in the backfield and just heading into open light on that left-hand side.
Australia in 3rd down and 3. Very manageable here. You'd expect another. We've got quick pass down the middle. That's their tight end. And another big collision. This time stopped by safety for New Zealand. I think that's number 39. And Australia are down to the 2-yard line. It's a big tight end for Australia. I think that's his first catch of the day, perhaps, but very hard to bring down his size down at that point.
Robert Colcutt, if we rewind back 3 plays, he took that ball for the first down, saving his QB, and here he comes up with a massive play for Australia.
Australia with a heavy backfield here. QB reaches out.
keeping.
New Zealand send the pressure, and they get there. Number 99.
In lead tackler, number 99, Joshua Saangote, just smuggling the QB in the backside. I guess Lorenzo's just letting his defensive line say, hey, if you're hungry, you better get to that QB.
And to me, that's the only way I think New Zealand can counter this with the formation they're in, is they have to send the pressure.
Yeah.
They can't. They just don't have the personnel to match up in coverage.
Yes.
And I think Coach Lorenzo has realized that he's got to go to his best ability, which is pressuring the quarterback.
And we know leading that pressure as well, we have captain out there, number 97, David Natua, leading charge.
And David's out there at the moment playing defensive tackle. There you go. Sends 4. Quick ball out there, caught for 5-yard gain by receiver number 36 from Australia. It's his first catch of the game. Third down and 6 here for Australia. Regardless of a touchdown or a field goal, they've got a good chance to get their first lead of the game, or their second lead of the game, actually. First lead since the first quarter. As you can see, the sun's just about left the field. It's a very brisk breeze. It's starting to pick up. Quarterback rolls out to his right, looks for his big receiver, number 4, and coverage again, number 24 is there to make up for it.
Intended receiver, again, number 4, Tim Tuikaba.
You can see this game's picking up in a bit of chippiness there. We saw Australian tight end number 2 have a bit of a laugh with the New Zealand team earlier, and just before Dwayne Collier, number 24, returned the favour. Good to see a little bit of life in this game.
Exactly, yes. Looks like they're leading up a field goal again, Trez.
Australia looking to take the lead. They've got a very well-polished field goal unit here. Kicks up, and this one is good.
It's good.
That was a long drive from Australia. They started at their 25-yard line, and they finished at the New Zealand 5-yard line. So New Zealand defence doing good work to tighten up at the end, but just unable to stop that quick game from Australia. Those quick bubbles, those quick swings to the running back, and the occasional seam up the middle.
Yes. Quick dump-offs. Good little bit, 5 yards. And hey, you're chipping away at it right till you get into the end zone, whether if it's a touchdown or field goal. And right there, Australia took the 3 points, and they are now in the lead, 19-18.
New Zealand doing a really good job to not miss any tackles today. They've really limited how many missed tackles they've let up. Australia exploiting their ability to get separation in the secondary, and that's so far been the difference. And you know, it is a 1-point game, so everything is still on the table for both teams here. Australia out of the sprinter stance. Good kick taken there. The 9, that's been fumbled. It's picked up there by number 29 from New Zealand, and he gets drilled by the coverage team. That was 18 who put the big hit on New Zealand.
Good awareness by number 29, Kelemete Maile, having to turn around and scoop up the loose ball and taking that massive hit.
And you know that's coming, right? When you're the second person who picks the ball up off a fumble, you know there's a defender that is bearing down on you. You just don't know where he is. Miley did a really good job there to hold on to the football.
Just has to secure the ball and take the hit and start off the offense on the very own 10.
And then thank your teammate.
Thank him at the end.
New Zealand in their single receiver formation. Quarterback Tolu under centre, hands it off there to Ben Davies, who gets a 1 yard gain down to the 11-yard line. So long drive here for New Zealand. If they're going to score, they're starting at their 10, or just behind their 10, on their 9 actually. Australia's special teams again showing their strength. Single wide receiver again, which is Seto out to the right. Your two split ends on the left. That's Sefa and Daisy. Daisy's going in motion, sitting there as wing back at the moment. And that ball goes to Daisy, who reverses across the field for a short 2-yard gain. So New Zealand doing this in twos. They're going to have to take a bit more chunk yardage, aren't they?
Getting a lot more than just getting the ones and the twos. It seems Australia has been sniffing up this run game. Of course, as we've seen a lot now, those adjustments been made. And New Zealand hasn't had an answer in this first drive to open up the game.
Who would you look for with this New Zealand receiving group? Who's your eyes on at the moment?
Right now, the receiving group, I guess, with Seto and Asher Swanky injected into the game, we're looking at getting downfield with a lot of these quick passes.
Yep.
He has quick feet.
And Seto's your downfield man, and Asher's your slot, isn't he?
Yes.
Look for that combo to work. Here we go.
Oh,
And
intended
that one.
receiver, number 22, Seto.
That one was sent downfield to Seto. Not sure if they had the timing right between QB and wide receiver on that one. Looks like Seto was coming back for a curl, but it was thrown downfield. Perhaps the QB wanted Seto to keep running. But a breakdown in communications, and it looks like Australia are going to get the ball back via punt. So it looks like so far Australia have made the better immediate adjustments after halftime.
Yes, correct.
New Zealand have come in with a very similar game plan. But no doubt this is where coaches will start to make their impact on the game known.
And looks like we have a flag on the field. Maybe a delay of game.
It goes on the offense, and that just picks them back 5 yards. And you're starting into a dangerous territory now where you've got your punter in the end zone.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of room for error there, is there? Good snap. Kicks off just. Daisy gets a great kick downfield with pressure in his face. Asher downfield to make the tackle. Number 0 gets away from the first, gets away from the second, and gets down to the New Zealand 33-yard line on that return.
And number 0 again, Max Schlatter. Very shifty receiver and returner. The QB is very good at looking for him in open spaces and giving him the ball. And
Again,
you can see why.
Both offense and defenses for New Zealand and Australia have had their moments, but one area you've seen Australia dominate is special teams.
That's for sure.
You know, every single time they seem to have the advantage in the yardage or the return. And it's just something that they just seem so well drilled on. And whoever the special teams coach is for Australia, hats off. This has been a really good weekend for special teams from the Australian teams across all 3 grades. Australia in the spread formation, 4 receivers out. New Zealand
He's
sending
getting
pressure,
away.
and they get him. This time it's number 93 who finishes it off, but that was very much a team effort.
And that was number 93, tackle made Jonah Ferguson Johnson, with the assist by a couple of his teammates. Well snuffed out play, getting to the QB. Again, with Australia not having anything going in the backfield, decided to run.
Australia staying in spread formation. Running back out to the left, and he is open. Second made a man miss, gets downfield. And New Zealand this time sending pressure, but are not able to account for the running back out of the backfield. And looks like Australia have really picked up on this, haven't they? They've picked on when these blitzes come through. This time Ala gets through, but a well-timed pass out to the backfield.
Yes, to the run back. I'm guessing Ala getting through into that blitzing, hoping his outside linebackers would get there as well. And obviously, number 2, Andrew Bigini Mana, saw some light and he took advantage of it. First down, Australia.
This time QB drops into pass. Aston gets upfield. And just as I said, New Zealand have done well to not miss any tackles. We are starting to see that creep in. I think fatigue probably starts creeping at this point of the game.
Yes, and again, Australia is just picking off little areas that New Zealand defense isn't quite secured on. So,
and
again,
QB for Australia, number 13, Aston, has done a really good job of controlling this game. He hasn't let these moments get too big or too small.
No.
And he's just been executing really well. Gets a ball out to the sideline again. Here's receiver number 4. This time he gets tackled and picked up by number 24 for New Zealand, Dwayne Colio.
Oh.
And here we go. Handbags are being thrown. Flags are flying out.
Flags are thrown.
There's a dominant tackle in that.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything in it. And definitely got the crowd going, that's for sure.
Finally some excitement in today's game.
Coach from Australia as well getting held back here.
Again, Dwayne Colio's tackle on that receiver.
He's made a few big hits now.
Yes. Very good coverage tackling, but unfortunately didn't get to see that what had happened there at the very end. So,
fun fact is Dwayne plays quarterback at club level. So it's a good chance to get his own back to make a few tackles. It's usually the other way around.
It's the other way around, exactly, sure. Again, in these type of moments, you know, the game is really on the high and two equally powered offense and defense from both two sides.
I don't think there was anything intentional or malicious in that. It was a dominant tackle. He did carry him back. He didn't drop him on his head or anything like that.
Yeah.
We don't have the benefit here in the booth of instant replay.
Obviously, what we are seeing now is live in front of us.
The referees are having a bit of a chat.
Both sides have gone to the equivalent markers, and coaches are getting into there. And I guess if you were coaching New Zealand at this point, what would your message be? Especially getting into this crucial part of the day, especially in the game.
Yeah, look, I think you've got to keep up the intensity, right? But I think the main thing I'd say is let's not lose focus. We started this game and we paid a lot of attention to the details. We were making our tackles. We were timing our blitz as well. It's a bit easy now for us just to feel a little bit lazy just because that tiredness is kicking in and we're not going through pre-snap reads and just not going to a level of detail that we were at the start of the game.
Yeah.
So that's just a bit of a reset to go, guys. We've worked this hard. We've been camped for 2 months, 3 months.
Yes.
Right? Let's not let this little bit of fatigue take away from what's been a fantastic campaign. Let's finish strong. We've got lots of time to rest. Right? We've got 3 months of off-season left to go.
Yep.
Let's use this time to empty the tank and make sure we don't lose our focus.
Well said. Well said, Rez.
As a player, Tino, what's going through your mind at this stage?
I guess, with the points are very close. You know, we're just regrouping with the offense, obviously, because I am an offensive player, and you know, we just want to get our sets right, get our plays correctly, get our blocking correct, and just get on top of the board and just lead from the front. You know, we can't afford to lose any ball. Again, the opportunities defense have given us, and just completion of the drives, Draz, and
Yeah. And on the flip side, if you're Australia here, you've got momentum back.
Yes.
You know, you've got confidence back in your team. You want to go out, you want to finish this game. You want to make sure you don't let the foot off the accelerator. You
Yeah.
want to finish every single drive.
Yeah.
You can't let New Zealand get confidence or momentum back.
Yeah.
So it's a real arm wrestle. Right now, Australia are leaning
Yeah.
in, but we know the firepower New Zealand has. So we're looking forward to win this game.
Yep.
Continues. We're looking for a good rest of the game.
Yes.
And here we go. What's the official's call? You can often tell what the official's call is just by looking at how the coaches react. So my eyes here are on Harry.
I don't believe Australia coaches out there with them, just to get their final read of what has happened. But I believe it could be a penalty against New Zealand with the way the tackle had happened and
Yep.
all his teammates had come in. And
They haven't waved off the flag.
we all know when Harry's out there for this quite long, he is fighting that penalty. So
Hopefully we get this out the way and get this game moving soon. I'm sure players on both sides will have a bit of a laugh about this in the after-match function.
you can see a lot of hand signals and a lot of numbers have been called, and I guess it's second down from the way I'm seeing.
So it's second down. It looks like there might not have been a penalty there, which ultimately was probably the right call.
Again, Australia is ready to capitalise on that drive.
Here we go. Australia in a trips bunch to the left. Quarterback rolls to his left to pitch again. Defensive back stays with him, and he gets help there from his safety over the top. So Kelly again helping over on the tackle. So Australia with a 4-yard, maybe 5-yard gain. And it goes to third down.
Again, the speed Australia has in terms of the QB rolling out the pocket with the running back. We haven't quite a lot see New Zealand do that as well. So,
and that's probably right now, if you look at the face of it, Australia has a massive speed advantage on New Zealand, doesn't they? And there we go, and that is a little bit too easy with Aston faking the pitch and this time taking it up himself up the middle. That little fake, that takes the defensive end, takes the linebackers out of the A gap, doesn't it? And it just opens that hole up, and Aston books it in for 6.
I guess you say it's a walk in the park. How close
Good to say that.
their number 13 QB did. So, again, New Zealand defense quite there, getting there, but it looks like a penalty.
It is.
Oh, touchdown disallowed. Or not sure what the call is.
It looks like... No, so it looks like... So they have converted. The touchdown was good. We're now going to the extra point here. Sorry for the confusion, ladies and gentlemen. Working with what we got here in the commentary box, and what we've got is as good as what you've got down on camera. And kicks up, and that one looks to be good as well. So the score now is 26-18. It is still a 1 touchdown game. It's a touchdown and a 2-point extra point. Really important drive for New Zealand coming up. We've seen Australia now drive the last couple of times without being stopped. They've got the momentum. They've figured out this defense for New Zealand. They've figured out their speed advantage. New Zealand have to come in and they've got to show that they can match this now. They've got to tell that defense that, hey, take a break. We're going to give you a long drive here to get your legs back under you.
Yes, correct. Offensive coordinator Joe drilling the offense on this next point and drive. Hopefully get some positive yards and an incident zone. So, but again, do not underestimate Australia's defense
or the special teams.
Or the special teams, great.
Seen the special teams unit dominate. They've got another opportunity here. Good kick downfield. This time taken on the full by number 9 from New Zealand. Looks for an option down the middle. Couple of flags come in. And that looks like that ball was... The run's finished at about the 35-yard line, but this one will be coming back. And it looks like this might be a block in the black. New Zealand players trying to argue their case, but how good is it to have football at this time of year? You know, it's usually the middle of winter, NFL's off, local seasons are off. The only thing you'd probably see football-wise is fantasy football kicking off in drafts at this time of year.
Correct.
Don't know how good you are, Tino, but I've been really struggling in my leagues last couple of years and looking forward to at least winning the one easy league I'm in, the franchise mode one.
Yeah. And it looks like we have an injury down on the field. Hopefully nothing serious.
That's their returner. That's number 9.
That's number 9, Levron Laakulu. Again, especially with football, Shiraz, that you never know when the injuries will come. Absolutely. Especially when you're trying to go hard for your team and just trying to make something happen. And of course, the injuries will just sort of take that opportunity away from you. So
it is absolutely the hardest part of this game, you know, and again, on special teams, you know, we've talked about this previously. New Zealand with Tolu under centre, 2 running backs and a single wide receiver again. This is their preferred formation. Ben Davies with the ball, gets some yards up the middle. Looks like he is close to a first down. I think he has secured that first down. So after a bit of a hiatus, New Zealand have been able to get another first down on the ground.
And it looks like they've gone back to that affirmations from the first quarter and gone back to their play that was working for them. So let's see what Coach Joe and Harry has up their sleeve for this offensive drive.
That time their interior offensive line made a real push up the middle. Through again, this time to the right. That's a 3-yard gain. I've noticed the last couple of runs they've had to the left has been where this offensive line has been doing really well. We've got 2 really strong linemen in number 69 and 64 leading the way.
And that was big number 90, Letoy Solomona, making that defensive stop for Australia.
Looks like there's penalties going against Australia as well. And that will bring the end of the third quarter. So, fourth quarter, this is where champions are made and legends are made.
Yep.
What is your prediction here? Do you know, how do you see this game finishing up?
I'm saying, you know, now obviously being a under 16 coach, I'm backing the senior men, 2 touchdowns, and obviously with Australia still remaining at 26. So. About 32-26.
And I think ultimately this is where we talk about the battle of attrition. You know, this is where you really test how much work these players have been putting in for the last few months. And the first quarter is really about your talent level. Fourth quarter is about your work ethic and how hard you're willing to put this work in for your teammates. New Zealand is I formation. This time to the fullback, and this one is bottled up, but he's picked up more yards. So, fullback Quinny was bottled up to begin with, but he sprung loose and he picked up another 3 yards after contact.
That's number 34 again, Quentin Mueller.
For those who didn't hear us earlier on, this is Quentin's last game of American football. A 20-plus year career. We congratulate you, Quinny. And good to see that he is running just as hard in his last game as he was in his first. Tolu under centre. This time he gets to his running back, Ben Davies, again down that left-hand side. And good things are happening when you're running behind your left guard right now for New Zealand.
Yes.
He has sprung the last 2 big runs. That is number 64 who put his defender on the ground.
And that's big number 69, Latimer Saulangi. And Lisiate Pauvali on the line of scrimmage, helping, and run game gave positive yards.
Just keep an eye off that left side of the line. That seems to be where they are dominant at the moment. Tolu under centre again. Again, they go down to the left. This time off tackle, and running back Sifa for a 2 and a bit yard gain, 3 yard gain perhaps. How does the quote go? Left side? Strong side.
Yeah, I'll definitely stay up the strong side.
New Zealand again in a very tight formation. Even though they've got a wide receiver, he is inside the hashes. Tolu under centre. Australia with 8 in the box. This time with a bit of misdirection to Sifa, who bundles down the right sideline, or the right side of the hashes, for what looks to be another first down. That was a strong run by Sifa, wasn't it?
Yes, very strong run. Unfortunately, a flag has come after the play. Again, the change that move for a first down.
That is a first down. Looks like did they rescind that card? Picked up the flag. Sorry, not a card. Tolu under centre. This time play action. And he has plenty of time. And he has a man downfield open, but he underthrew it. He had set the open downfield there, and unfortunately just didn't get enough on that ball that he wanted to. He'd want that one back, but at least it shows
really bad.
It shows that it is there when they need it. Half second early, and that would be 6 points for
That
New
would have been
Zealand.
6 points for New Zealand. I guess in Sito's head would be like, is this ball ever going to touch my hand while it was floating in the air? So, unfortunately,
And those are the hardest ones for wide receivers when you've got way too much time to think about it.
yeah.
The crowd really getting in the game now. Tolu again under centre. This time inside to Ben Davies on the right side, and it is a 2-yard gain.
Again, forward motion progress. That's good progress.
You can see that the Australian QBs are trying to stay warm on the sideline here. This has been a long drive for New Zealand.
Yep.
The temperature has really dropped down now. We're in the single digits. And the Australians are trying to stay warm to make sure when they go out for the next drive, they're ready to go.
Again, like you said, Shiraz, fourth quarter is where champions are made of. And again, that offensive coordinator has been telling the defense, hey, you guys have a break. We'll run this drive down to the very end.
Absolutely. A little bit of confusion here for New Zealand, but looks like they've got their formation set up now. They've got 3 wide receivers set with Tolu in the gun. Sifa, the wide receiver on the left-hand side, motioning over to more of a split end. Tolu's got time in the pocket. Surveys, gets his receiver downfield, and that's Daisy Motunga. That is a 15-yard completion, and that puts New Zealand on the Australian 6-yard line.
Again, Shiraz going up a mismatch here in height. You have number 18, Hamish Windsor, covering a little slight to Daisy Motunga there on the receiver. So, a good catch, but he had a better throw by Tolu Putunga.
And that was a great intermediate throw there from Tolu. Just floated it over the linebackers and just down enough so that Daisy can get his hands on it. New Zealand staying in this 3 wide receiver set. They seem to have a little bit more confidence coming out of this. Sifa into motion. Ben Davies in as a running back. Tolu in the gun. Ball snapped. Here's a run. It's down the right-hand side. Ben Davies is in for a touchdown. That brings New Zealand back into the game. They're within 2 with a conversion to tie this game up. That's really brought life back into this crowd, hasn't it?
It has. Well, you can see with that run, Shiraz, that O-line had crashed down onto the D-line to secure that outside run. With the work of the receivers crashing in on the DBs, the BDs had not a lot of work to get to that running back. So credit to the O-line, credit to all the offensive work this offensive coordinator put into this offense.
And that change in formation as well, just going to a spread look, it actually opens up the run game because it now forces Australia to commit to the pass a bit more, especially after that pass downfield to Daisy. Australia had to respect that.
Yeah.
So expect a little bit more of New Zealand going to spread.
Yeah.
Looks like Tolu is very comfortable in it. And they're in this formation again for this 2-point conversion. A very important conversion, mind you.
Very, very important.
And there's a flag on the play, and that play is blown dead. Is that a delay of game, perhaps? That is a delay of game for New Zealand. And that's unfortunately something that is just way too easy to fall into the trap. You score a touchdown, you're trying to celebrate. But in the meantime, the ref has spotted the ball.
Yeah, forgetting about the time.
Yeah, so players are dapping each other up and feeling great, but that clock is ticking down. So it's one of those really tough things because you don't want to burn a timeout. But again, these are things that the players will learn.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the defensive coordinator for Australia will be looking over and adjusting a lot of his players around just to get this offensive stop. So
New Zealand in the spread again, 2 receivers to the right, Sifa to the left. Sifa in motion. Comes into a split end again. Pass. Lots of time for Tolu. Gets downfield, and that is broken up. Again, just ball in there for a little bit too long. He had his receiver Daisy there, wide open. Maybe just put a little bit too much on it.
That air time that ball has, man, just gives the DBs for Australia the opportunity to go up and either snag or incomplete that pass. So
And that's the difference at this international level, isn't it? These windows are much tighter. You've got to get the ball up and down or to your receiver much quicker, because the closing speed off your corners and your safeties are just that much faster.
That's much faster. Correct. So again, with New Zealand leaning up the front. Again, we talked about this kick return Australia team has.
So given the way that Australia's last couple of drives went, would you consider a mid kick or even a short kick here to try and just let that luck bounce your way, or would you go deep here?
With a lot of time, I'd probably go deep and let them stay down there.
Oh, they've gone deep.
A little thing, so
this is where the coverage unit needs to. And Australia again with another strong return, this time at the New Zealand 36-yard line. And, you know, we talked about it, and it feels like conceding, doesn't it, having a short or a screw kick. But this Australian special teams unit is so good that you need to start thinking about how you can start getting an advantage here.
Yeah. Again, the speed that this return team has. A good return by number 8, Matthew Major. Again, Australia is wasting no time.
Australia in a spread formation, 4 receivers into pass. QB's got time, gets the ball downfield, and it's just overthrown for his receiver, number 8. He had a window there, couldn't quite execute.
Again, intended receiver, that number 8 just finished returning, Matthew Major.
You can see New Zealand safety, Gabe Packham, is back on the field, but with a heavily strapped knee. So he was off the field for a little bit. He's come back on now, but you can see the amount of tape that knee's got on it right now. And
let's hope Australia doesn't target that advantage on him. So
Australia with trips to the right. New Zealand with 8 in the box. And that's a 6-yard gain on a quick pass to the right.
Again, tackle made by number 3, Nelly Siaea, coming across as a linebacker to get out there. And again, we've talked about how well Australia converts these bubble screen short passes into those open crevice spots.
New Zealand need to do something different here with the backers. They need to either be at the line of scrimmage and be threatening to go, or they need to go. If they're sitting there waiting, they're in no man's land, because Australia are isolating them away from the action.
Yes.
Bit of misdirection here, and this time they get there.
This time they get there.
And that's what we talked about. You know, they need to be aggressive. They need to be playing downhill, and this time they did. Australia tried to get a bit cute there. They tried to run misdirection, and I don't know if they needed to. And that takes them down to 4th down, and that's a big 4th down stop.
Yeah, a big stop by number 0, Tommy Seal. Again, the return veteran for the international game in New Zealand. One of the core 3 linebackers that this New Zealand team have. So a big stop there. Assist by number 50, Dylan Levi.
And Tommy's definitely one of those players you want to look out for in terms of game changes this late in the 4th quarter now. Punt is back, and it's a fake.
It's a fake.
He's running, and he's got nowhere to go. Scratching my head about that one, but
I'm not sure what had happened. Didn't know.
It looked like something broke down. But they definitely did not get what they wanted out of that one, Australia, and that gives New Zealand a chance, down 24-26. Seeing helmets fly on the Australian sideline.
And that's that number 2, Kame. Kame did not give up on that play. Chased him right around, got to the edges, and there he goes.
And it looks like there might have been a little bit of a breakdown in communications there, and it didn't look like Australia were all on the same page.
Looks like the crowd is getting back behind the boys. Again, let's not forget that Australian defense is coming in hot.
New Zealand back into the I formation. 2 backs. This time it goes to Sifa, who looks for something up the middle, and he gets tackled down, not before a flag comes in, however. And it looks like this one's going to be a false start.
Look like they'll be marching back.
You know, I would love to see New Zealand stay in that spread that was working. It does allow the run game to develop as well, just because Australia can't commit to the run. Because right now you're playing for a field goal. You want to get inside. You want to get inside the 25. You know, that's probably where your kicker's range is right now for Daisy. That makes it a 35-yard field goal.
Yeah.
That's a sweet spot where you are confident with them making it. New Zealand staying in the I formation, single receiver to the right. And this time they go up the middle again to Sifa, and he gets a 4-yard gain back to close to the original line of scrimmage. They're in Australia's 35-yard line, and it's going to be third down. Where do you think Daisy's range realistically is on a cold day like today?
As a footy player himself, I've seen him kick half field. But that's without pressure. So, again, with the game of gridiron, in a good day, 40. In the worst day, 30.
So you want about, to be safe here, you want about 10 yards from a New Zealand perspective. To give Daisy a kick he's comfortable with.
He's comfortable, yes.
There's not a lot of wind at the moment, so it should be fairly neutral.
Yep.
This time he goes to the fullback. They get downfield.
He goes to Quinton.
It's not quite first down, but he gets very, very close. They are moving the chains, although I don't know if the referee's called it. And it's a first down. That is a massive run by Quinny.
Yes, very big run by Quincy.
And I think we are in field goal range now, although I'm sure Daisy would love it to be another 10 yards closer. So,
I guess as a offensive coordinator, what is Joe thinking? What would you be telling your offensive crew at this very point in time?
Ball security. Give us an opportunity here, right?
Running the time down as much as possible.
Yeah, you just want to get the lead, really. You want to get the lead one way or the other. You trust your defense. Trust your defense with the full field to not give up points. But message number one is let's score some points here. Great, let's score a touchdown if we can, but we've got to get off the field here with at least a field goal. One thing today, though, coming into the game, New Zealand really only has one active quarterback on the roster.
Yeah.
Got a bit of an injury crisis right now in New Zealand with quarterbacks. We've had the other long-time contact quarterback, Charlie Dew, resting a recently reattached ACL in his knee. So he's out for at least a little while yet, which leaves Tolu as the lead quarterback for this game and the only primary quarterback on the roster here for New Zealand. So I know in the back of Harry's mind it would have been trying to protect Tolu from getting into too many contact situations, but at this stage of the game this is where he can also unleash Tolu's running ability.
Please.
You wouldn't have done that early on, but we're at that point now where you've got to throw caution to the wind to try and win this game.
And I guess that's what Coach Harry his thoughts were, not unleash Tolu's run. Obviously, with being the only QB that New Zealand has. Not saying that the rest of them that could play QB, but anything can happen. He can go right now, and we shall wait and see if they make that decision for Tolu to have a go. And
that is one thing about Tolu's game that he hasn't been able to do today, is he is a very good dual-threat quarterback. And that's why I'd like to see him out of the shotgun formation, where he can run some of those reads or options if needed. It just adds an element that Australia are probably not ready for right now. Bit of a referee conference here, and it looks like after all of that, it is going to be third down and short. Which I would have thought it would have been fourth down, but there we are.
Oh, Looks like Coach Aaron and are going for it. Even if it's still on third down.
Crowd really getting behind the team at the moment. Tolu under center. And he's going in for a QB sneak like we talked about.
And we
the
talked
type
about
of game, the time of the game where Tolu's going to be putting his head down now and throwing caution to the wind because New Zealand need everything he can do.
Yeah. He'll be in the huddle telling his running back, boys, have a break. Let me do the running now. So,
how much of a lift as well, does that give you when you see your quarterback
massive
take on the team?
Especially when you just ran back to back sets and you're needing a breather, and then to see your quarterback step up and take the lead, massive game.
New Zealand in the I-form single receiver set. Goes back to the fullback. And he is taken down for a very short 1 yard gain.
Again, Australia's not slowing down on their defense. They are putting everything on the line just to get the stop.
So now, this is the sort of time where we're probably not that far from the 2-minute warning. And again, sorry team, we don't have a live feed into the game clock here, but one can only assume we're not far from the 2-minute warning. Probably the time of game where you look to take a little bit of time off the clock if you really wanted to. So you can afford to run these if you trust your kicker's got this kick from here, which I'm assuming the New Zealand team does. Double tight. It's a reverse here. Daisy coming around. He's got blockers in front. He takes on tacklers and he is down at the 15-yard line for a 5-yard gain. That'll take it down to 3rd and 4.
And that's a reverse on number 6, Daisy Motunga. He's been heavily involved in this offensive, well, whether if it's blocking or receiving or running.
It's a great play call here by Joe Tuinau to call that reverse after a lot of direct play.
We're at 3rd and 5.
That looks to be the 2-minute warning.
And that's the 2-minute warning.
Both teams should have all 3 of the timeouts remaining.
Crowds are getting back. Right behind the
The
boys.
crowd getting into it now.
They can sense it.
And this is the moment, I think a year ago when New Zealand were in, where the game was close and a lot of these same players were in this situation, and they will remember this. They will remember.
They remember that feeling because it was so close yet.
And what that does is once you felt that, you know what you need to do in these moments. You know how you need to step up. They've had a year of thinking about it.
Yeah.
And here they are going, I'm going to overcome those demons from a year ago.
I guess in those days, you got to embrace the pressure.
And on the flip side, Australia will remember that they have been in these trenches.
Yes.
And that they will manage to pull something out. QB to running back Ben Davies, and that looks like a first down, but a flag flies in.
Looks like a late hit coming in.
Came in from the backfield, so it's waiting for the call here from the officials, and it's holding on New Zealand, and that is going to be something Australia are really going to be happy with, because that takes New Zealand back. That's now putting them back onto, what was probably a very likely and a much easier kick to something that it's still within range for Tolu. Sorry, for Daisy, but it just makes it a little bit harder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In the clutch on a day like today. 3rd down, Australia with a little bit more momentum now with those last couple of plays. Tolu in the gun to receive with a single receiver, and a second who just motions out now. Tolu with the ball, steps into pass. He finds his receiver. That's Seto Filo, who gets downfield and gets a first down. That is a massive, massive catch there from the wide receiver. A great pass from Tolu to get him with a bit of leverage to play.
Yeah. Again, it was just another out route for center fielder just to get into open space to catch that ball and just find that first down marker just to get the team over. So, well done on Joe and the team on that play call.
And it looks like Australia were in man coverage there. He is a very tough player to cover in man. He's just got so much speed. And what that does is it just puts a massive bind onto your DB. How close do you want to press him? How close do you want to play him? Because he can take you over the top and beat you deep.
Exactly. Looks like the crowd are enjoying this very moment again. Got the crowd on their feet, enjoying a little bit of music. Perez?
Absolutely.
And again, man, a massive shout out to everybody that's tuning in. We wish you could be here in these grandstands right now because it is chocker. And it's good to see the fans and the family and friends out here supporting, especially our counter friends out here from Australia. Here supporting the game of gridiron. So
New Zealand 6, maybe 7 yards out from the Aussie end zone. What are you thinking here for Australia?
just put everything on the line and try and get the stop. I mean, we do have the timeouts. We just got to watch that one. That's pretty much it.
If you're Australia, though, you don't want New Zealand to beat you with a run here, do you?
No.
They've done that the last couple of times they've been in the red zone.
Yeah, they've.
You want them to deal with it on the pass game.
Yeah.
A, that'll stop the clock if it's incompletion. And B, if New Zealand score, they'll score fast. What you can't afford here is a slow and prolonged run series that scores. It's to the fullback, and it looks like he might be very close, and he's down to the 1 yard line. It's down to the 1 yard line for New Zealand, and they will take more time off this clock.
And, again,
and Australia call a timeout to stop that momentum. So, second down here for New Zealand. They're at the 1 yard line with a chance to take the lead. And that would be a very hard lead for Australia to come back from if they score a touchdown here, because that would mean Australia would need to score a touchdown off themselves rather than a field goal.
And that's the hard part of being in this red zone, trying to shut down this run, especially when you're on the back foot, because then you burn out a timeout. So, as a defensive coach, if I were to them, it's just let's hope we make tackles, you try and strip the ball, or if not, hopefully they get a fumble. So
Absolutely.
those are the most likely scenarios. As a defensive coach, will want the defense, to make it happen. So.
Nervous time here for the Australian defense. They've been off the field for a little while.
Yes, very. Again, I know this offense of Australia wants to get on and start getting this ball downfield. So, let's see what happens here on this next second down drive.
And the crowd really getting behind the New Zealand team here. Tolu taking his time. Tolu under center. Looks like it might be a QB sneak here. He hands it off to his fullback, who gets in the end zone, and New Zealand are ahead.
And he gets one. And it's no other than that number 34.
And that's Quinny in his last
Miller,
game.
His last game.
And what might be his last touch of a football.
No other person rewarding to get that touchdown but the man himself, Quinton Mueller. Well done, well done.
So, New Zealand are up 30-26 now. This is an important 2-point conversion because it means if Australia do score, they still need to convert to win. But regardless, this is a solid lead here for New Zealand because it puts them out of field goal territory.
Yes.
And Australia, I think they've got one timeout left.
I think, yes, they have one timeout.
And not a huge amount of clock left to play with. So, ball's tossed out here to Ben Davies on the right. Ben makes a couple of people miss. Flag comes in, and he's stopped short.
And the flag gets thrown in after a run for a 2-point conversion. 25, Ben Davies. Holding ball. It looks like they're going for kickoff.
Here we go. This is where dreams are made. Australia have an opportunity here to win the game on offense. And you know what? If you're a young QB growing up, if you're a young running back growing up, young wide receiver, these are the moments you want. The moment to win the game for your country. Put your country on your back and score that winning touchdown.
A big lead for New Zealand right now, and Shiraz, we talked about this return team. It's what's been working for them. It's what's been getting in these big chunk of yards. So if New Zealand can put it into a place where they cannot return it, and let's just have that defense get those stoppages. So,
would you kick the ball out of bounds here? You know, this return team has been really dominant.
Yes. If I were I'd rather really kick it out.
Decent kick. Australia's got the ball. They open up a seam up the middle. Broke a couple of tacklers, and he's again across the 40-yard line.
He's in midfield.
And just like that, they are at midfield, and you just gotta give it to Australia. Their special teams unit is like none other I've seen.
I think Daisy Mutunga was trying to kick it into the end zone with all his might, and just came up short and gave the runner that space and the yardage that he needs. So
yeah,
they just need a little completion, with the time stoppages. So
New
and
Zealand.
Again, sorry guys, we don't have the official time on us. And I assume it's mere seconds left.
And I don't think New Zealand have beaten Australia on the men's scene for a while yet in contact. We won at youth level, but it'll be a long time since New Zealand have won at contact level, and Australia will want to make them work for it if that does happen. Here's a penalty, and it looks like New Zealand are getting marched back down to their 35-yard line. So again, special teams comes up massive for Australia. That's been a theme of today, and that just continues.
Again, we talked about their special teams, and they've worked their magic. So, big stop here coming up for the defense.
Australia here in the spread formation. New Zealand with all three linebackers still in the game. They are sending pressure. They get the ball downfield, and that is caught down at the sideline. What an unbelievable catch there from Australia. That is number 8 again. High points the ball, gets his feet down, and gets out of bounds. QB under pressure. New Zealand sent 2 of their linebackers as well. Under pressure, stood strong, made the throw, and they're down on New Zealand's 22-yard line now. Australia with the trips wide receivers to the left, and that's brought 2 of New Zealand's linebackers over to cover. New Zealand sent the blitz. Australia throw it out of bounds.
Throws it out of bounds.
That looks like a throwaway. He saw the blitz. He didn't want to deal with that play. Come back to fight on the next play.
The pressure put on by number 0 on the outside, Tommy Seal. Crucial play from the linebackers. But again, with Australia in the formation, they're spreading the linebackers out so that the inside routes can work. So
feels like that was a pre-snap decision until he saw that linebacker blitz through. 3 receivers to the left for Australia here. QB in the gun,
again,
drops
blitzing.
back, gets the ball upfield, and it is caught for a touchdown. And just like that, Australia have silenced the crowd here at Trust Arena. Quarterback, under pressure, stood strong and delivered. And that puts Australia up by up by 2 points. And that's why that 2-point conversion just before the half was really important. Australia here looking to convert that. This is going to make it a 3-point game. So
again, that number 8, Matthew Major, has been coming up, making these big catches throughout today's game.
And again, that drive started with our special teams play. You know, every time you have the opportunity just to get in the opposition's half on a kick, at what point do you just squib it or kick it out of bounds? You know, that's a conversation you've got to have as a New Zealand team at that moment.
When you know it's a danger man at the back and you know that it's working for them, the only possible way to do it is to squib kick it. But unfortunately, you know, trust New Zealand's special teams. They wanted to stop them from the back. But unfortunately, again, Australia reached into their pocket and pulled out their gun players who came up big for them. So, again, massive credit to the offensive coordinator here for Australia.
So one thing we do know is Daisy's got a leg, the kicker for New Zealand. We know he can hit this from probably halfway. The question is New Zealand's offense going to give him a chance?
Well, let's see this return.
And that is out of bounds off the back of the end zone. Now, we are in championship moments. There's only seconds left on the clock. And we've got quarterback Tolu, probably just under a minute. But you've got to give it to Australia, you know. On a cold Auckland evening, to turn up and to do what they did, that takes courage. It's now New Zealand's turn to return the favour.
Again, Australia came into this game not showing any signs of giving up, and they came up big in this last couple of minutes on that last drive. So let's see if New Zealand can return the favour. I mean, they still have 3 timeouts out, so let's see what they do here.
Tolu under centre here. Single wide receiver, two tight receivers to the right. Looks like he's got the ball downfield. And he's got it to Sifa, who is getting downfield. And he is out of bounds at the 26-yard line. That gets them into field goal territory here. So New Zealand are still alive.
And we spoke about big-time players coming up with big-time plays. And they gave it to one of their best running backs up in this league here, Sifa, who just saw open space, put the pedal to the middle, and just said to Australia CB, catch me if you can.
They're down at the 26-yard line now. Sifa was playing as a tight end on that last play, and he got that big conversion. New Zealand in a spread formation now with Tolu in the backfield. Ball snapped. He goes to Daisy. Daisy blockers in front of him. Holds on to that football. And New Zealand quickly call a timeout. So
give him over maybe another 5 yards and then get into kicking range.
I think he's in kicking range at the moment. What it comes down to is, are you in that comfortable kicking range? You know, on a Wednesday evening at training, on a Thursday evening at training, Daisy makes these kicks.
Yes.
Right? From 30, 40 yards. It just becomes that much harder with the game on the line wearing the black jersey. You want to get another 10 yards for that to become a lot more of a manageable kick, regardless of the situation.
And of course, I know the defensive coordinator is telling Australia, hey, do not give up on any plays. So I know they're going to come out firing on this drive. So
got a near sellout crowd here in Trust Stadium in Auckland. The crowd is really getting into it now. For everyone watching from home, all over Australia, all over New Zealand, we've got a great one on our hands. Tolu in the gun. Gets the ball. Has some time. Goes downfield and he cannot complete. He had a chance there to Daisy. That would have been a tough catch. There at third down.
If it was just a little lower, Daisy would have got that ball, but it was just missed by fingertips. So I know he wanted that up for the boys, especially, but Australia was all over that. So let's see what Tolu brings up next.
New Zealand got trips bubble to the right. You got the isolated single receiver to the left. The single receiver to the left is Seto. Daisy, Tolu under in the gun. Finds number 8 and he drops it. That was heartbreaking. That was a walk-in touchdown for number 8 for New Zealand. And that's Jade Williams, who did make one of our big plays earlier in the game. That was a great ball by Tolu. That would have been a touchdown if he caught that. But this is where you just got to switch back on, right? You've got to go back into the huddle and you go, hey, you've got to put that behind us.
Yep.
And we've all got to execute as a team on this next play. You can't change what's happened. All you can change is how you're going to approach this next play. And this is 4th down for New Zealand, and they've elected not to kick. And they are going for it. Tolu in the gun, drops back. He's got time. He is looking for his wide receiver, Seto Filo, who catches it. Is he in bounds? And he is. That is a touchdown.
He's caught it.
And he's Seto Filo to win
there's a flag.
the game potentially. And there's flags throwing in.
Excessive celebration.
And that would probably be for celebrations, ladies and gentlemen.
Again, Shiraz, we spoke about big-time players coming up with big-time plays. Australia answered with a wide receiver catch. New Zealand on this final drive, Phil stepped up.
Seto with a massive one-on-one single isolated route on the left-hand side. Tolu we talked about him earlier in the game. He's got time. He is looking for his wide receiver, Seto Filo, who catches it. Is he in bounds? And we talked about it. You know, they had a drop catch down there, but they didn't bat an eyelid. They just moved on. Next play mentality, and they got there.
2 incredible drives. One from Australia, the answer back by New Zealand. We spoke about this earlier. 2 powerful house offensive players making big-time plays in the pressure moments, Stress.
Big-time plays and big-time moments. And
Seto will remember that touchdown for the rest of his life.
So it looks like there might have been a dead ball foul afterwards. And that might have been in the over celebration after the play. It makes the conversion a little bit harder.
A little bit harder, yes.
But the touchdown remains.
So now going in for conversion. Again, Australia can answer back with a kick. We can see the kicker warming up. So Daisy.
It's a field goal for New Zealand, the extra point.
Again, Australia stacking the line.
Tolu's ready for the hold. Clean transfer. Daisy gets a kick up, and it is good. And we're just all eyes on the ref here, ladies and gentlemen, to see how much time we have left. And it looks like there's at least enough time for a return. There was a false start for New Zealand. They will need to redo that kick. So the clock doesn't change. The clock doesn't move, and it's It's an untimed down here, so no time is going off the clock. So New Zealand will have to go through the process of kicking this ball again. Holds good. Transfer a bit high. This time it's blocked. And New Zealand hustle back, dive on the ball. Conversion is no good. All eyes on the ref to see how much time is left on the clock. And
You were the opposing team. What would you be telling them right now?
you'd want to get this ball out of bounds. You don't. You're up in this game. You don't want to give their absolutely lethal return team a chance to return it. You want to, if you,
Special team is what's
ideally, you'd want to get this ball out of the back of the end zone. But if you don't have the legs there, and this is going to be a long kick, because it looks like they're kicking from their own 10-yard line. So they'll be kicking off here from their 15-yard line. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to put the ball in the hands of these absolutely lethal playmakers for Australia. So you get the ball down out of bounds at their 30 or 20-yard line. So Daisy here kicking off. That's a deep kick downfield. Number 8 from Australia gets the ball. He's got a crease up the middle, and he is tackled.
big time play by number 0, Tommy Shield.
We talked about Tommy earlier in the game. He's one of those players in these moments you trust to make these tackles. So you have 20 seconds left in the game, ladies and gentlemen. The score is 36-33. Australia just need to get into field goal range, which We're just going to let you enjoy these scenes here, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a fantastic game. And, you know, with everything, you've really got to hand it to this Australian team. They came here, they prepared, they worked hard for not just this campaign, but they've been the lead example of what football looks like in the Southern Hemisphere for a long time. They came in, they dominated the first 2 games of the day. The Colts did give them a harder run, but they've shown that they've got the systems in place, and all the way through today, you don't have a heavyweight battle without an equal and worthy opposition, and Australia were that and more today. So you got to feel for them. But what today does is this makes this a rivalry that will now be worth fighting for every single year. This is one for the ages. Ultimately, came to 3 score changes in the last 2 minutes. New Zealand were leading, Australia took the lead. Sorry, Australia were leading, New Zealand took the lead, Australia took it back. And in the dying moments, New Zealand, through an unbelievable pass from Tolu to a catch from Seto to win the game in an epic moment. What a way to finish as well for Quinny in his last touch of the game, scoring the game-winning touchdown for New Zealand. And with that, we're going to leave you here from the commentary box. It's been an absolute pleasure on my part to see you off today and to see this historic game. And joining me today was Tino. Tino, any last thoughts?
Thank you for tuning in. Deserved win from New Zealand Iron Blacks. And again, this is not the first or any last time we're going to see Australia back in this game. So thank you very much, and everybody have a good weekend.
Thank you, everyone. And for myself, Shiraz and Tino, we sign off and have a great rest of your weekend.
the athletes, their family, their staff, our volunteers, our physios, our production team, our photographers, Trust Arena. If I've missed you, I'm sorry, I've lost my voice, but we thank you for being a part of this magnificent and historical day. A round of applause to you all. At this time, I'd like to award the Player of the Match medal. This is our senior men's MVP for 2026, determined by a group of leadership who looked over you this afternoon, and that this honor belongs to NZAFF Tukutau.
Oh yeah, to go alright.
First of all, I'd like to thank Heavenly Father for providing a good day for us to play here. And I appreciate Australia for coming out, and having a good day with us. And New Zealand, have a good day, baby. Let's go. I'm Dutch on free, I'm Dutch on free. 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir!
We will now hear from the head coach of Australia. Welcome, Peterborough. Round of applause.
Oh yeah. Singer. Oh, this is
Hell of a game. I want to thank not only the Australian families and friends and loved ones, but my New Zealand partners and families that allow us to give up our times away from them to play this game. It was a fantastic game. I couldn't have asked to lose to a better team. In your own this weekend and for this game, I'm sure we'll continue the conversations tonight, but as a well-deserved win, you should be very proud and excited for us to come back and play again next year. Australia, I spoke to you before, heads up. My mistake of this team is not at the end of this game. It's that in 7 days together we became a team and we became a family. Alright? So tonight, let's continue partying together. Yeah? Let's see what Michael's got for us. Thanks, guys. Pretty cool thing, in 2 years of this tournament existing, both countries got their name on it. Congrats, coach. Hi, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the Australian team for coming out. We did a little talk to you guys. Carrying my bag of them lots of different thoughts.
kind of weird. ที่สำคัญค่าเก่า